she is wildly dynamic and has ideas upon ideas upon ideas. And what she pulled off just with that song was incredible, because leaving myself out of it completely between Darnell and between Naja Nicole and between Maya Bilardo and Jahidi, these are some of our musicians and singers and songwriters who are at like the best of what Delaware and what Wilmington and what this area has to offer. And pulling all of that off was really like a Quincy Jones We Are the World moment between TAHIRA and Darnell. And we got a video done with it, and it was amazing. And that's just one. And honestly, as I'm thinking about that, mind you, we did that right when COVID was kind of starting to open up. And everybody, you know, it was an experience for everyone, because everyone was scared to kind of be close together again. We all were like, oh man, we miss music, we miss being together, you know, and I'm gonna take this risk to come out and socialize and do what we need to do as musicians. And it was a beautiful experience, to the point where when we actually finished the video and we're shooting it, there was a moment where we were at the Grand, and we were kind of shooting my scene, and a woman who works at the Grand in terms of like lighting and all that kind of stuff, she was in the back just turning all the lights on for us, and I'm singing my part, and all of a sudden she comes forward and she's weeping, because it's the first time that she had heard music in that space since COVID, and she was so moved by that. And that's because of her brainchild. You know what I'm saying? She gave us all that experience. And it was a situation where, you know, something spoke to her, was like, I gotta do this song at this time. And then she ran it to her brother Darnell, and it was like, this has to be done. And that's one of my experiences with TAHIRA. My first experience, I have no problem saying, I was like, so one of my brothers, okay, Jonathan Whitney, if you know him, he is the ultimate, you know, bridge builder and the ultimate connector. And he was at the time working with the Delaware Art Museum. And he said, I want you to work with this storyteller named TAHIRA. And you guys are going to put together a project that explains what happened in 1968 with the Wilmington riots and the occupation of the city by the National Guard for, I think it was the longest occupation ever in this country. And I was charged with, you know, doing the music, and she had to tell the story. I'd never met her, and it was like, okay, this is gonna be interesting, because it was way outside of the box for me. Like, I'm a singer-songwriter myself, so I do my thing my way. And I had to work with a new person who I'd never met, and we're both like, we've never done something like this before. It's a really big deal. It was a National Endowment of the Arts, you know, grant. And we clicked from the beginning. I'm sure she was more nervous than me, because I have a loud mouth and I tend to be a little bit brash. But we clicked from the beginning, and that was the start of our relationship. And from that point, I've learned a tremendous amount about art, about life. TAHIRA is one of the few people, and I was just talking to Sam about it, who I'm like scared to disappoint no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Number one is my dad. There's another person who y'all might know, and TAHIRA. And it's not because she's like scary. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it that way. It's because she doesn't play about doing things properly. You know? She has a high standard, and I knew from the rip that, like, if I didn't, you know, come correct, that she wasn't gonna hear it. And it was a respect thing, and it's kind of just one of those things that she commands. And I love that about her, because she doesn't do it in like a brash way or an aggressive way that's like really, but it's just like you know, like your grandma, you know, like you're not gonna play with her because you just understand what these dynamics are, and if you don't come correct, you're gonna hear it and have to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? And I love that about her. Another thing that she taught me specifically was this revolutionary concept that I hadn't heard. I'll say this. I consider myself to be an artivist, and 9 times out of 10, my approach has been traditional in that I'm trying to attack the system, and I'm aggressive, and I'm going to say exactly how much pain we have. I'm going to tell you we're ready to go to war, and I'm mad, and I'm mad, and I'm mad, and I'm mad. And she's like, Black joy. I'm like, hold up. She said, Black joy, that is the ultimate revolutionary act, because essentially, without being crude, you're given, like, kick rocks. You can't change my spirit. Black people are joyful people naturally. We're celebratory. We love being in each other's company. We make people laugh. And she was like, you keep that black joy in there, and you cannot let them take that from you. And that literally impacted the way that I think about what I do when I'm doing artivism, and just across the board. You know what I mean? So TAHIRA is an extremely important and special person to me for a lot of different reasons. It is wild to me that she's been doing this for 30 years. And again, from my end, because I haven't known her anywhere near that amount of time, but I understand part of her story in that, you know, she used to be like more of a corporate person, you know what I mean? And she took, like, I took a pretty good leap with my career in terms of being like, you know what, I'm going to jump all the way up, but I didn't make a giant 180 like she did, and at a much different time, you know. I have so much respect for her ability to do that. So in a few minutes, this woman who I genuinely adore is going to come up on this stage with the good brother Darnell and do what she has been doing as a master fellow with oral literature. You know, what an incredible accomplishment for a storyteller, you know what I mean? And she schooled me on what a real storyteller is, and I'll let her handle that because I don't want to say it the wrong way, but she has schooled me in so many ways. I want to be clear because I'm up here kind of pontificating right now, but I had to say what needed to be said about her specifically for me. But this whole thing today is supposed to be just community coming together to enjoy an artist. You guys, please participate. I'm going to be walking around from time to time in between songs if it feels right, and I might ask you your input. She's going to want you to sing, clap, just do what we do. This is not, like, I understand the seating is how it is, and that's how it's supposed to be, but this is not a formal concert. You understand? You know, I purposefully did not put on a bow tie. I almost did, but I was like, nah, this is, we're going to listen to her and enjoy the message, but we're going to keep it casual and have a good time. The babies can talk all the babies want. You know what I'm saying? Let the baby do what the baby does. That is perfectly fine. We want all of that. And I'm going to be coming around to you as much as I can. I'm curious, even before we get started, does anybody have anything that they want to just say about TAHIRA and their experience with her, you know, just to kind of let the people know, from family, anyone? If not, that's okay. But I wanted to kind of open that up. Yeah, I think I've said what needed to be said, and I don't see anything that, I knew it. I didn't want to push it. Yep. Say what you got to say. We need to understand.
Okay, TAHIRA and I'm her cousin. TAHIRA and I are practically the same age. My mother and her mother, they had their children like this. She's my Koogly cousin, and I am in awe of her. I remember the first time I saw her, we were at Fairmont Avenue, Glorious, and I'm sitting there, and I couldn't move because I'm like, I cannot believe the blood that runs through her runs through me. I cannot believe I'm in the presence of this greatness. The same person I went to middle school with, and she's been doing it over and over again, and she's, oh my God, I gotta go. She's such a...
Nobody can say it better than family. You know what I'm saying? So, without further ado, my friend, my mentor, my big sister, everybody, give me all the noise and love you got for TAHIRA!
Oh, my family is here. Oh, man, this is so dope. This is so dope. This is so dope. Thank you, Jay, for that wonderful introduction. And like you said, this is a hang. This is still like pinch me that it's been 30 years since we started this work. And I always say we, because everywhere I go, I take my family. I take my ancestors and my mentors and the National Association of Black Storytellers. So let's see how many family we got in the house. I go. Amen. That's what I'm talking about, exactly. I go is a call and response, and I made a call and response from God in the language of God, from the God people in Ghana. And it's just checking in to see if we're on the same page, and your intention and attention is right here. I go. Amen. Zala Rose is in the house. I know I'm ready. I know I'm ready now. Yes. We're going to do this. So we call this the heart and soul of my stories, because everything that I do, I try to remind myself that to be in my heart space, right? And you know, black people, everywhere we go, we got soul, right? Right? Now I'm worried. I'm worried. All right, heart and soul of my story. So y'all know y'all gonna have times where I'm gonna need your voices, and y'all know that's how we do it, right? Because we can't even go to the movies without talking back, right? So you know how we do. Here we go. Hey, this is the heart and the soul of my stories. Hey, this is the heart and the soul of my stories. Performing here and there, using my voice to make a difference somewhere. Ancestor praising, children raising. On my journey, this is my love, and this is the heart and the soul of my story. Sing it with me now. This is the heart, come on y'all, and the soul of my stories. Do it again. This is the soul of my stories, telling of our past, so the truth no longer masked, divinely guided, not blind sight. On my journey, this is my word. Come on, y'all. This, hey, is the heart, hey, and the soul of my stories. Do it again, y'all. This is the heart and the soul of our stories. One more time, y'all. This is the and the of my story. Go ahead, Darnell. I give in service, my aim, my purpose, my goal is to be in service, to be in service, to be in service, to be in service. 'Cause this, hey, is the heart and the soul of my stories. Come on. Give it up for Darnell Miller, y'all. Sometimes I'm just in awe. I just want to sit and hear him play. I get caught up. Yes, indeed. When I think about these 30 years, I keep saying that out loud. It's something. You know, and I think about legacy, right? And what you leave behind. And it makes me think of a conversation I had with somebody so dear to me. And we were talking about legacy. And this is, I guess I was like at maybe 12 years in, 15 years in. And she said to me, you know, she was lauding me about how I'm building this legacy. Like, there are stories, there are songs that'll be left behind long after I'm gone, and how important that is. And I said, well, you have a magnificent legacy as well. And, you know, she disagreed. And we talked about everything. We talked about the small things in life and the big things in life. And so I knew a lot about her life, and I was recounting to her the things I knew about her life that to me indicated a legacy that she was leaving behind. And she disagreed with me, like wholeheartedly, like passionately disagreed with me. So I set about convincing her that she was leaving a legacy behind, you know. And so I said, we, you know, talked about the small things in life and the big things in life. And one of our favorite subjects was motherhood, right? And she told me that 99% of my problems was that I only had one child. She had 7. So she was like, yeah, that's most of your problem is that you only have one, right? Because she was always of the thought that it's not really an emergency unless we got to call 911. So don't bother me. Are you bleeding? Are you bleeding? All right, you can work it out. That's kind of like how she was, right? So, you know, we didn't see eye to eye on like what it means, what was a problem in motherhood, right? But so I was thinking about this legacy piece. I said, like, wow, I can recount the number of times that you told me how you worked through a challenge with your children, right? And not just that, like how you had the strength to stand up for them against like all kinds of odds. Like, I remember her telling me that that her older children were going to school, and at this time, everybody wore a bush. Y'all call it an afro now, right? Everybody, you know, her older children wore a bush, and that they were told that they were going to be suspended from South Philadelphia High School because their hair was distracting, right? And you might think, oh my goodness, like that's insane. But just to be clear, you know, right now in 2023, there is a Crown Act that only some states have, meaning that if your hair is locked, if your hair is some way displeasing to your employer, to a school, they could remove you from school, make you no longer participate in sports, or fire you. All right? That's 2023. So this is 1972, 73. And she went up to the school and demanded that her children be reinstated and educated them on what it means to wear a bush. It's not a hairstyle. She used to always say that it's not a hairstyle. The minute it became a hairstyle, the minute they started advertising Afro Sheen and pics in a magazine, that's when things shifted. So with that story, I said, that's an example of the legacy you're leaving behind with your children. That didn't move the point. So then I was thinking about how she, as well as her husband, made sure that all of their 7 children understood that they don't stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance. They're black nationalists, they don't stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance. Again, controversial, right? Kaepernick still don't got a job, right? He still don't got a job because he kneeled. And so again, this is in the 60s and the 70s, and so they would not stand up. Imagine that in a school, in an assembly, when all the children, all the adults in the room are standing up and pledge allegiance to the flag, blah, 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 and they're not standing up. They're not talking. They're not taking the pledge, right? And again, they tried to expel our children or suspend them, and her husband went up there and said, not today, colonizer. You know what I mean? Not today. I go? Amen. So again, I'm pointing these things out to her, and she's like, but that just is what a mother does. I'm a mother. That's just what mothers do, right? So then I started thinking about in terms of a career, right? I knew she spent 37 years at the City of Philadelphia Department of Health. And when she first went to the job, she had to take what they call a civil service test. You take a civil service test to work for the city. And she was told that she would never pass anything other than being a secretary, right? And she went on to pass the secretarial level civil service test as well as being a clerk, and went on to be a manager of a staff of clerks at the City of Philadelphia Health Department in different centers all around the city. And then she became like the manager of managers. People came from all over the city to see her system because it was mostly women, and many of the women were young women, and they just worked so efficiently because of the amount of respect they had for her, right? And she took it upon herself, just like she had 5 daughters, she took it upon herself with those young ladies in her center to pour into them, and to tell them what it means, like early is late. You know what I mean? Early is late to her. Super, super early. See, my cousin, I heard her talking about Coogie's cousin. This started at 3, she was here at 1:45. I was like, oh, Allah. girl, we still setting up the microphones. Wait a minute. That was this woman. And so many of those young women also had this limited belief system about what they could do, but being under her tutelage, they went on to get master's degrees and to go on and have these flourishing careers. So I was like, that's it. This is gonna prove it to her. And I laid down the people, and I had names. I remember the people. I've met them at her retirement party. And still, she's like, that's a job. You do your best at your job. You show up for your job. It's nothing special. And I went on to write a blog about this when blogs were a thing. And people from all over the country, even and outside the country, made a comment. I wrote about legacy you leave behind. I didn't name her. I just said, this person that I love, this person that I know, doesn't think she has a legacy to leave. And people were commenting, not knowing who I was talking about. Many people didn't, commenting all over the world. And I showed it to her. I still didn't convince her. And I wish I could tell you that one day she understood it. It didn't happen. I go. In fact, when she made transition, May 8th, 2012, I still had not convinced her. So when I was thinking about her life and her legacy, and I had to perform at her service, I hoped that she heard me. And so I wrote a poem about her legacy. And then a little time later, I put a song to it. This is how it goes. Angel perfume mixed with barbecue in June was the smell of love in my home. I believe in you, there ain't nothing you can't do was the soundtrack of my life at 1221, where she taught me what love smells like. 1221, where she taught me what love sounds like. 1221, where she taught me what love tastes like. 1221, where she taught me what love looks like. 1221. Pancakes pie high on a Sunday in July was the taste of love in my home. Dressed to the T, she was the epitome of style and grace every day. 1221, where she taught me what love smells like. 1221, where she taught me what love sounds like. 1221, where she taught me what love tastes like. 1221, where she taught me what love looks like. 1221, yeah. 1221. I now know what love smells like. I now know what love sounds like. I now know what love looks like. I now know what love looks like. And I'm grateful, so grateful. Go ahead, Darnell. Mommy's now gone, but her love still lives on in every cell of my body. Yeah, 1221, where she told me what love smells like. 1221, where she told me what love sounds like. 1221, where she told me what love tastes like. 1221, where she told me what love looks like. 1221, yeah. 1221, my home. 1221, South Philly. 1221, South 20th Street. That's the address, y'all. 1221, South 20th Street, where my mama raised us. 1221, South 20th Street. Hey, 1221, South 20th Street, where love still lives. You was raised up in 1221 South 20th Street. Please stand up. You was loved up in 1221 South 20th Street. Ronald Bryan Stevenson, Linda, don't let me call your name out now. Give it up for my family, y'all. Give it up for my family. That's my mama, Martha Lavinia Burwell. Yes, indeed. Now, just to even out the scales of things, I got to do something about my daddy now. I know we ain't playing this, but do something about my daddy, too. Just even out, because, you know, he kind of in the atmosphere is going, all right now. I did a couple things. So I'm going to need your help with this here. What we got? We're going to go in the swamp and get dirty with it, right? Don't you like that swamp dirtiness, Jay? It's like, ah! So here's what I need y'all to do. My daddy loved in shades of black, you say.
My daddy loved in shades of black.
Come on. Let's do it again. Hey. My daddy loved in shades of black, you say.
My daddy loved in shades of black.
My daddy loved in shades of black. Hey.
My daddy. Be loud, y'all. Be proud. Out loud.
My daddy loved in shades of black. Come on now. There we go. Hey. My daddy loved in shades of black. Hey. My daddy loved in shades of black. Midnight black cannot be pierced by any foreign light source. His impenetrable love for his people. Blue-black, deceiving to the eye hue, caught at certain angles. His beguiling love for cognac. Onyx black, precious, priceless gem, rarely possessed. His jeweled love for all things African. Licorice black, syrupy, saccharine taste, satisfying to the senses. His sweet love for summer strolls in the sun. Whew. Coffee black, deep, dark, delicious flavor, not for the timid taste buds. His savory love for art and the blues. Woo! Ebony black, bold, bountiful beauty that takes your breath away. His bodacious love for sunsets and rainbows. Charcoal black, simmering, smoldering fire that cannot be extinguished. His unwavering love for his children. Yes. Yes, my daddy loved. My daddy loved. Woo! Woo! My daddy loved in shades of black. Midnight blue, black, honest, licorice, coffee, ebony, charcoal, black love. Yeah! My daddy loved in shades of black. Here we go. Come on, y'all. Hey! My daddy loved in shades of black. Come on. My daddy loved in shades of black. My daddy loved in shades of black. Come on now. My daddy loved in shades of black. Hey. Blackbird fly. Fly, daddy. Hey. Woo! Let me tell you, my daddy was blackity black. No, for real, y'all. I'm going to try to explain. I'm going to try to explain, not explain. Explain. I'm going to try to explain. Like, the only thing white on my daddy was his pearly white teeth. That's it. The palm of his hand was my complexion. All right? Blackity black, black, black. And he was a conscious teacher, where my mother was more of a person that, like, lived by example. Like, you know, my dad was like, lesson number 1, sit down, turn to page 10 kind of teacher. And so one of the things, growing up as an artist, and he nurtured that, but he would give me like assignments that just wore me thin, I swear. Like, trying to recite Paul Laurence Dunbar in the dialect. Where Kim Graham at? Where Kim Graham? There she go. You understand how hard that is, right? In the dialect, if you're not familiar with Paul Laurence Dunbar, he makes our language, and it is a language. It's actually no longer called Ebonics, no longer called African American, what is it, English vernacular? No, it is actually a language now. It's not a vernacular, it's a language. It's codified as a language. And so, you know, he gave me his assignments to, like, read Paul Laurence Dunbar, and I had a hard time with that. I was more like a Nikki Giovanni, Sonia Sanchez kind of chick, you know what I mean? But he was like, no, you're gonna learn this today. So there, you know, he didn't live to see me be a storyteller, not in this breast space, certainly in an ancestral plane. But when I joined the National Association of Black Storytellers, first I joined the affiliate in Philadelphia, Keepers of the Culture, KOTC, COSI. And when people I first started getting work, everybody wanted me to do a story about Harriet Tubman or Dr. King. Like, that was it. And see, it's going to be a surprise, especially to our white brothers and sisters in the audience. Like, in my house, Dr. King, no, we didn't talk too much about him. Malcolm, that's what we talked about. That's what my dad was down with, right? Malcolm, that's what he was down with. So when people's like, you know, tell stories about Dr. King, tell stories about, you know, Rosa Parks, that was another one. And I was like, yeah, okay, can we, like, broaden this, folks, right? So I started researching about the everyday folks and some stuff that my dad had taught me. And then one of the founders of the National Association of Black Storytellers, Linda Goss, wrote this piece called Prayer for My Father, Song for My Mother. We winging it here, y'all. He don't know what I'm gonna do, so that's why he's like, okay. What you doing, Tahira? Because it just came to me, like, so she wrote this piece, and I was like, this embodies what it means to be a black storyteller. People are all going around saying, Please, we only want stories about Dr. King, or maybe Harriet Tubman or something like that. So this is Melinda Goss. She's in Baltimore. She's recovering. We're sending prayers out to Mama Melinda Goss. She's recovering from some serious health challenges. This is Prayer from My Father, Song from My Mother, or something like that. Somebody look it up. I'm not sure the title, but this is how I go. This is how I go. My mother was no Harriet Tubman. My father, no Martin Luther King. But she was a mother to 10 sisters and brothers. She was a mother to my brother and me. She was a wife and friend to my father and a teacher to the whole community. Oh, my mother wasn't no Harriet Tubman, and my father no Martin Luther King. He had no time for fun and foolishness. He had no time, sometimes, to take a rest. He had no time to complain or to weep, but he was a storyteller who rocked me to sleep. My mother was no Harriet Tubman. My father no Martin Luther King. She was a midwife to my Aunt Sally, and he was a preacher to little Willie Jones. She was a mother who kept the fires burning so her lost children could find their way home. And he was a father that kept the light on so his lost children could always find their way home. Now, you won't find them in the history pages, yet they lived down through ages. There will be no TV special. There is no Mother's Day card, no Father's Day card for the people I'm speaking of, for the people who have been through it all. They've lost babies in the womb. They've lost babies to hanging trees. They've lost babies to battlefields. They've lost babies to drugs and pills, yet they gave birth to the Harriet Tubmans. I go? Amen. Yet they gave birth to the Martin Luther Kings. Yet they gave birth to the Langston Hugheses. Yet they gave birth to kings and queens. This is for my mother. This is for my father. Oh, black women of Ethiopia, black father Nelson Mandela, black mother of Emmett Till, black men down in Brazil. We hear your stories, we see your pain, we feel the blood pouring like the rain. If they will be done to Gaza, peace will come. This is for my mother. This is for my father and all living people around the world. Sorry, Mr. B. He's like, you didn't tell me you were going to do that one. Which one you want? You want to pick one? What you want to do? No, anything you want to do. What you want to do?
Not in particular, all of it.
All of it. Just want to do all of it. No, wait. Now, so I'm significantly older than this young man right here, right? But what cracks me up is when we talk about music, right? I can't. He has a catalog in his head. He's a musicologist. He knows all there is to talk about music. I don't say we talk about gospel or funk, whatever, So my big brother, who's an ancestor now, Stephen Vernon Stevenson, was a DJ. So from my father, I got jazz, which always felt very complicated because they always testing you. You ever notice that, Jay, like jazz musicians, it's just, you just can't listen to a song. They be like, hold up, but who on keys? And then where was Miles? Where was his foot when he blew that note? It's like, yo.
Jonathan.
Yo, yes. Jonathan
all day.
All day. You know what I mean? It's like, why can't you just listen to the music? Why it's got to be like this?
Prince fans are like that.
Prince fans are like that too. That's true. You can't just mention a Prince. Yeah, this is very true. And so it always felt so heady to talk about music. And my mom's, I grew up, my mom playing like Poogie Hudson. Y'all know nothing about that. Nobody out there know about that. Jerry Butler. Stuff like that. Who else? Name somebody. Teddy Pendergrass. Somebody name some stuff Mom used to listen to. What else? Who else used to listen to? Hal Melvin and Blue Notes, because before Teddy Pendergrass stepped out on his own, right? All that kind of stuff. What else? Oh, Luther, yeah, that's more recent.
Patty,
See, that's the grandchildren saying Luther, y'all. Yeah. What else?
LaBelle?
No, she wasn't a fan.
The Bluebells.
No, she wasn't a fan. She wasn't a fan of that. And my brother he's a funketeer, like a serious funketeer, like old school funketeer. And he was a DJ, so he used to have parties. All right, where's the address of the parties? Where the people? Hey, Gary, where's the address of the party? Kay, where's the address? 1802. We just got something about addresses in our family. We're like, yeah, we go to 1802. When I finally could go to an 1802 party, I was so excited. I was made to leave at 2 a.m. because that's when the party really started, So, all right, so y'all remember, you are so young boy. Let me see if you remember that. So, when you had a party in the basement, how'd you invite people? Because, it wasn't social media then, so how'd you invite people? Did you have parties in the basement?
So I'm glad. I'm happy to be in the place where someone is calling me the young one.
I know, right? Hanging around with
Because
Nas,
I'm
right?
so old that I don't remember the answer to that question.
I'm like,
That
nah,
part.
Okay.
That part, like for real. Like, so how did you invite people to parties?
Yeah,
Word of mouth?
and you would call them.
There's something else we did. We got
send out
maybe we was
invitations.
fancy. So what the invitations look like?
I don't remember. I literally don't remember.
We'd say, what we do for invitations? Remember? Flyers, who
We
got that
definitely
kind of
do
money? That's some Newcastle people talking about that.
oh,
That's some Brooklyn.
Don't do
What's the
that.
Brooklyn people out there?
do
You
that.
know.
Why
you
does
know,
Newcastle
them
always
suburban,
get
Don't come
disrespectful?
to Newcastle. Don't do it.
those suburban people. What y'all do in Beaver County, Hope? How did y'all invite people to parties? Word them out. Okay, I'm about to school y'all on something. Tay, you remember we said to take the index cards? Thank you, right? You write like the time, what the host gonna be, and when I got fancy, all my eyes had hearts on them. I couldn't wait to do the invitation for my brother. Y'all didn't do that, take the index card. They're not that old, right? And see, my mother worked for the health department, so she got the index cards for free. Well, oh my God. So we had these parties in the basements. Okay, what color is the light in the basement?
Red.
Or blue.
Blue.
I'm blue light generation.
What's your
Blue light for sure.
blue light?
Or black
right.
light. I mean, actually, black light.
Right.
Black light.
Red or blue?
What you say? Black light, blue light, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And then, so my brother, like I said, he was a DJ. He used to have these. He was funky T. He has these posters. Yeah. What the posters look like, y'all?
That glow. What's that glow? Yeah. The couple with the couple.
Stop playing. The velvet posters. When you cut on the light, you know what I'm talking about, Jerry? They lit up.
Yeah, they lit.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he had ones that moved, and apparently in certain states, people,
They should bring those.
certain
back.
states of mind, people.
What you talking about?
No, I ain't know nothing about it. I wasn't allowed. You understand? But certain states of mind, the posters took on different dimensions or something. I heard tell. Where my older sister Kay at? Y'all know what I'm talking about. That's what I heard. I go.
Amen.
So,
They should bring those posters back.
they bring those posters back. And then, the album covers. He would put album covers on Ohio Players. And Barcades.
That was Ohio Players was my first awkward experience.
All right, you gotta tell us. Don't y'all want to hear the story? What was
No.
Yo, and what's Isaac Hayes that?
Black Moses?
Yes. So I'm like, how you know that? Yeah, Black Moses. And some of the album covers were risque, right?
Yeah. Skin tight.
Wait.
Honey.
Who had the ice cream? Minnie
That's Ohio Players.
Rippleton had ice cream in her
had the ice
hand.
cream. Yeah.
Right. Wait a minute. Zyla Rose is in the house. I go.
Amen.
We gotta calm down now. I forgot my baby's in here. No. We ain't going down that road. But we're gonna keep it clean. And so I wrote this song about that kind of music.
I was like, where are you going?
I know. Old school love. So hopefully this takes you back to remembering about some old school stuff. I know you're like, okay, where is this going? All right. Ooh, Charlie, as the young people say.
Y'all can snap.
Hey, that sounds good. Keep that going. Hey. Lately it's been hard. Things ain't been the same. Ain't been no sun. All we had is rain. Shelter me from the storm. Don't leave me alone. Don't leave me in the cold. Come and keep me warm. You're still my love. Always my love. Old school kind of love. So record kind of love. Dancing cheek to cheek. Whispering in my ear. All those things I wanna hear. Roberta and Donnie, yeah. The closer I get to you, songs that reminds us what we used to do. You're still my love, yeah. Always my love. Old school kind of love. So record kind of love. Go ahead, Darnell. Yeah. Let's go back when a boy liked a girl, and all they wanted in this world was Soul Train on a Saturday. 33 albums on long play singing. You're still my love, always my love. Old school kind of love, so wicked kind of love, yeah. You're still my love, always my love. Old school kind of love, so wicked kind of love. Blue light in the basement, playing 45s. Al Green, giving us life. Let's stay together, yeah. You ought to be with me. Songs that reminds us who we used to be. You're still my love, yeah. Always my love. Old school kind of love. So wicked kind of love. You're still my love, yeah. Always my love. Old school kind of love. So wicked kind of love. Old school love, y'all. Old school kind of love. Old school kind of love. I be trying to raise my daughter up on some old school stuff. I be trying. She was like, well, can you play something that was like created in like the 2000 something? Like, now I got to put a 1 in front of that joint. But one of the things that I tell people all the time, well, Darnell knows this for sure. I think Jay's starting to know this, is my daughter is the brains behind this whole operation. Even innovative thing I even thought about doing, the idea came from my daughter, Imani Ashanti Dorsey. And even things that I think I can't do, she's like, Mom, you can do that. And she don't say like, yeah, Mom, you can do it. Shut up, Mom, you can do that. All you have to do is, and she'll line it up for me and show me, something, some resource to point me in the right direction. And when I first started playing guitar, I bought, oh my God, that guitar I think cost $35. I still got it. Oh my goodness, my tips of my fingers were bleeding, but it was just like 12 gauge. I think it was 25 gauge. It was like crazy, and I want to take guitar lessons, but I wanted to. This is Martha Burwell's child. I want to learn how to play guitar before I go take lessons. I didn't want to go in there and not know nothing. So I was like, I want to take guitar lessons first. So she sat through me learning how to play guitar on a VHS tape, right? So, you remember that guitar, right? Oh my God, it was crazy. And now then this is how I got hooked up with Darnell. I know folks in Wilmington, y'all know my sister Nzinga. She used to have a Nzinga Cultural Connection. Now, it used to be inside the 9th Street bookstore. Oh, no, Hanif bookstore. That's like sacrilegious. Hanif bookstore. And then there was across the street from the Grand Opera House forever. And so I was in there one day and telling her, we belong to a sister of the drum group. I don't know if you ever, we played djembe and dunduns. So I was telling her, yeah, I really want to, and I'm learning, but I need a teacher, but I don't know where to go. So we talking, and I was in there for hours. Darnell comes in, and nigga says, wait. She grabs Darnell's hand. So the name of her shop is Nzinga's Cultural Connection. She grabs Darnell's hand, she grabs my hand, she says, connected at Nzinga Cultural Connections. And so I started taking lessons. That was before you went on the road, so I don't know what year that it was. Before, like 90-something. Then he went on the road, was a big star for 10 years, and he only could, like, fit me in when he was in town. Well, I might be in town, such a day. So, you know, we was hanging out and learning guitar, and I've been, I guess, consistent for 9, 10, 11 years, something like that. But the thing is about this journey along the way, had it not been for, like, my daughter's unwavering belief that I could do it, right? So sure enough, my mother said, you could do anything. And my father said, you better do whatever you're going to do, you better do it for the betterment of black people, whatever it is. If it's an electrician, a plumber, or whatever. But to have your child look at you and go, Mom, you could do that. Like, Mom, you could do that. It just fills my heart with joy. So I know we ain't playing this one even. I hope I remember the chords.
You and me both.
Oh, maybe. All right, so, Lord. So let's see if we remember. I wrote a song about my baby girl. And I'm totally embarrassed. This is when I debuted the song. I gave her a party. Family member when I gave her. Should I do it? Should I do it? Don't do it. Don't do it. And Washington is like, she's going to do it. She's going to do it. It was a rites of passage party. It was a surprise rites of passage party. I made her clean up the house, just sort of that. And so then I told her, go put this outfit on I just bought you. That happens to be in all in white. And then when she came downstairs, all of the women of the family were there, and my nephew Kareem, who can't not show up to anything. He got to be in a mix of everything. So anyway, it was a rites of passage into womanhood. That it was a surprise party that I debuted this song, and her cousin, after all these wise women stepped forward and told Imani how she was ushering into womanhood and what it meant to be a woman, how beautiful it is now that she has embarked on this journey of being a woman, cousin Rashanita said, I'm here to tell you the truth, cuz all this they telling you is some bull crap. It hurts, it's painful, it ain't nothing beautiful about it, it ain't nothing. I was like, we trying to, like, put it in my right frame of mind, because Nzinga and Jadeka, you know how when we grew up, it was like this horrible thing. I wanted to make it a beautiful experience. Her cousin was like, it hurts, it's horrible. But I debuted this song, and it was called Forever My Baby Girl, and let's all pray we remember the chorus. Here we go. You want me to start? That's pretty good. Your bright eyes encourage me with their sparkle and sincerity. Your smile beamed like the sun, shining light on to everyone. You give me hope and inspiration for a future generation. You're a child extraordinary, and no one who compares, 'cause you're my baby girl. Yeah, you're my baby girl. Yeah, you're my baby girl. Always my baby girl. I couldn't ask for more than you, 'cause you fill my heart through and through. Please know my love is always here, whether you are far or near, 'cause you're my baby girl. You're my baby girl. Yeah, you're my baby girl. You're my baby girl. To the bridge. And one day know your name, 'cause you are destined for fame to be a leader in all that you do. Just praise those that came before you. F. And you're my baby girl. Yeah, you're my baby girl. Come on, give me some more. Oh, my baby girl. Yeah, you're my baby girl. Forever my baby girl. And ever my baby girl. You're my baby girl. Give it up for Darnell, y'all.
I remembered it at the end.
At the end, it was like, wait. I got it. Man, oh man, time goes by so fast. It is, oh my goodness. Y'all mind if we do a couple more? I know it's almost time.
Yep.
Is that good? There once was a goddess who specialized in rainbows. Just where the heavens and the planets parted, she would transform herself into beautiful arch hues of red, orange, yellow, and blues. Her palette so brilliant, so magnificent, that all of the creatures of all of the planets and all of the heavens were awestruck by the beauty of the rainbow. But the thing was, and you know there's always a thing, right? The thing was, they were so awestruck by the beauty of the rainbow, they fell silent. And the goddess of the rainbow mistook the silence for indifference. And over time, she feared, actually. She doubted, actually. She questioned, to be truthful. She thought maybe it didn't matter. And she feared that maybe the rainbow was not enough. And she questioned whether she was wasting her time. And all these negative thoughts and these fears and these questions and these doubts caused her palette to fade until she was but a mist atop of a mountain, and all of the creatures of all of the heavens and all of the planets missed the rainbow. Now, there was art that was inspired by the rainbow. There were songs, and there were stories, and there were sculptures, and there was paintings, and there were dances. And that did give them memories of the rainbow, but they missed the rainbow. So the rest of the goddesses of the universe knew they had to do something. I mean, like the goddess of the flowers and the goddess of the animals and the goddess of the trees and the goddess of the bees, they knew they had to get the goddess of the rainbow to start making rainbows again. And so they went to the goddesses of all goddesses and pleaded with the goddesses of all goddesses to implore, to beg, to insist that the goddess of the rainbow start making rainbows again. So the goddesses of all goddesses interceded in the most powerful way that the divine intercedes in our life, and that is in dreams. So the goddess of the rainbow began to dream about the rainbow. And in her dreams, she remembered what it felt like to make a rainbow. She remembered that rainbow making was her thing to do. And she realized that it didn't matter what the external forces thought about it, responded to it, cared. What matters is making rainbows was her thing. And so when she woke up after having those dreams, she went back to making rainbows again. Just where the heavens and the planets parted, she transformed herself into beautiful arch of magnificent colors, of red, orange, yellows, and blues. And she never forgot again that her destiny, her purpose, is making rainbows. And now, the silence, didn't matter, because she never realized the impact of a rainbow. That's not the story. She never knew anything about the art that was made from the rainbow. Only thing that she realized was that it was her business to make rainbows. So we share this with you because we hope that you know what your rainbow making thing is. I think Darnell's was playing that guitar and singing. What you think? Yeah. Give it up for Darnell, y'all. So we want to share this song. This is not one of my songs, but one of my favorite songwriters. Not the favorite. Stevie Wonder is my favorite. But Indy Irene. We are the lovers strangers that say a silent prayer. We are the lover mothers that taught our hearts to care. We are, we are, we are, we are. We are the patience and the sacrifice of yesterday. The silence in between the breaths of all the words we say. We are, we are, we are, we are. So I want you to do that part with us, that we are part. It goes like this. We are, we are, we are, we are. We are the best of struggles that we won't have to bear. We are the heir to all the prayers that float upon the air. We are, we are, we are, we are. Ooh, 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 ooh. We are the seeds of children that may never know our name. We are the peace of people who won't bow their heads in shame. We are, we are, we are, we are, we are, we are. The present, the past, the future days to come. The Alpha, the Omega, we are everything in one. We are, we are, we are, we are, we are, we are. Let's do it again. We are, we are, we are, we are, we are, we are. That sounds good. We are, we are, we are, we are, we are, we are. One more again. We are, we are, we are, we are, we are. Yeah. We'll do another real quick one. Let's see. I go? Amen. I go? Amen. There once was a people who lost, different one. See, we told y'all it was a hang. Did you explain to them this is like kind of like just a hang, right? Okay. You said, yeah. I just started different. There once was a people who lost all of their stories and all of their songs. And no one remembers when exactly it happened, or could like pinpoint even roughly when it began. Now, some speculated why it happened. Some said it was because grandparents weren't raising the grandbabies anymore, because children were going outside of the house as young as 9 months, 10 months for 6, 7 hours a day, sometimes 10 hours a day, to go to daycare centers. So they said maybe that was when it happened, because it wasn't being passed down. And others speculated that it happened when there was an advancement in technology, and everybody in the family had their own device that could take them all around the world and connect them to places all around the world, but disconnect them one to another at a dinner table. I go. But like I said, nobody really knew when it happened, or really pinpointed or researched why, but they lost their stories and they lost their songs. And there came a time where this couple, this husband and wife, was having a baby. The wife was nearly ready, and she had a difficult childbirthing experience. And when she was in the throes of labor, the pain was just so excruciating that she would just cry out, and her husband tried to comfort her, and her birth doula was there to walk her through this passage, to guide her through this journey. And she asked the birth doula if there was something wrong, and the birth doula assured her that this was just the process, But this was her first child, and she didn't know, she wasn't sure, but she just couldn't imagine that this level of pain was normal. But that baby came into the light. And when that baby came into the light, she let out this scream, And the birth doula said everything was fine, and the mother and the father both were very concerned, but they even had the baby checked out at the hospital, and all was well. But the parents just sensed that something was wrong. And we took the baby home, and the baby would not settle in at nighttime, and everybody assured these new parents that that's just what babies do. That's just the journey. Well, they paid more and more attention to these screams that she was making, and just when she was about 7 days old, they took the baby to the elders to be named. And the elders took the baby and named the baby Michaela. Michaela means the one who is most like the Most High. And those parents, didn't want to question the elders, but just given how difficult things had been, in the birthing, and even now, they didn't think that was the right name for their baby, but they didn't want to question the elders. And they took that baby home, and that baby was a healthy baby, but yet this screaming continued. And then as she got a little older, I'm talking like about 3 months or 4 months, it sort of changed. It became more codified, like a rhythm to the crying. There was like a rhythm, but it was still like piercing, and the parents couldn't take it anymore. So they went and took the baby to the elders again and explained everything that was happening. And while some of the elders kept saying, that's what babies do, it's your first baby, you'll get used to it, there was one elder that asked everybody to be quiet and listen to the baby screaming, this rhythm screaming. And this elder told the parents to give the baby, Michaela, to her. And the elder held the baby and tried to comfort the baby. And now that the baby was mouth was right near this elder's ear, and then this elder had nearly actually lost all of her hearing. But now that the baby was closer and she listened to the rhythm of the crying, the elder began to cry, just tears flowing. And that's when the parents knew. We knew something was wrong. We told you something was wrong. And the elder kept crying. And then the elder spoke and said, this baby is not crying. This baby is not wailing. This baby is singing a song that I haven't heard since my childhood. Listen. And if you were there that day, you would have heard Michaela singing. And she sang, Ishe Oluwa Kole Bajeo, Ishe Oluwa Kole Bajeo, Ishe Oluwa Kole Bajeo, Ishe Oluwa Kole Bajeo, Kole Bajeo, Kole Bajeo, Ishe Oluwa Kole Bajeo, Ishe Oluwa Kole Bajeo. This song means that God's work can never be destroyed. Michaela has brought back our songs. Michaela has brought back our songs. And after that day, the elders began to remember the songs and they poured it into Michaela. And Michaela returned to her people their songs. And soon the stories were returned to the people. This baby came with a message. This baby came to deliver us back to who we are as Sankofa. Ishe Oluwa Kole Bajeo. Ishe Oluwa Kole Bajeo. So I'm going to give you the melody, and we want you to join us. It sounds like this. Ishe Oluwa Kole Bajeo. Ishe Oluwa Kole Bajeo. Please join me. Ishe Oluwa. Ishe Oluwa Kole Bajeo. Kole Bajeo. Ishe Oluwa. Ishe Oluwa Kole Bajeo. Kole Bajeo. Kole Bajeo. Kole Bajeo. Kole Bajeo. Kole Bajeo. Ishe Oluwa. Ishe Oluwa Kole Bajeo. Ishe Oluwa Kole Bajeo. Take it up. Kole Bajeo. Kole Bajeo. Ishe Oluwa. Ishe Oluwa Kole Bajeo. Kole Bajeo. Kole Bajeo. Kole Bajeo. Kole Bajeo. Ishe Oluwa. Ishe Oluwa Kole Bajeo. Ishe. Ishe Oluwa Kole Bajeo. Kole Bajeo. Kole Bajeo. Kole Bajeo. Ishe Oluwa. Ishe Oluwa Kole Bajeo. Ishe Oluwa Kole Bajeo. Take it up here. Kole Bajeo. Kole kole bajeo. Kole bajeo, kole bajeo. Kole bajeo, kole bajeo.
Kole bajeo. Kole bajeo. Kole bajeo.
Can you take the lights up for us?
Kole bajeo.
House lights up. Marcus, can you take the house lights up? Kole bajeo, ishe oluwan. Ishe oluwan. Kole bajeo. Ishe oluwan. Kole bajeo, kole bajeo. Kole bajeo, kole bajeo. Kole bajeo, ishe oluwan. Ishe oluwan. Kole bajeo. Ishe oluwan. Kole bajeo. Kole bajeo. Kole bajeo. Ishe oluwan. Kole bajeo. Thank you so much for showing up. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for believing in me. It is my honor to bring forth the stories and the songs of our people. It is what sustains us. It is what makes us whole. And it is the epitome of Black joy. Kole bajeo. Thank y'all so much for coming out. Woo. Give it up for Darnell Miller, y'all. Give it up for Jay Street, my brother. Thank you, Marcus. Thank you, Sam Willis. You always in my corner, always got my documentation. Give it up for my baby girl, Imani Shanti Dorsey. Thank you, Marcus.